Hey everybody, it's Craig with Smartphone Emmy. We got a great face-off for you today. In fact, it's been requested by a number of viewers. The Samsung Galaxy S2 versus the Samsung Infuse 4G. Don't forget, stop by smartphoneemmy.com, check out the written review. Today's winner, along with some photos and videos posted from both of today's contestants. All right, let's kick off our face-off. Samsung Galaxy S2 offers quad-band GSM, quad-band 3G, operates on AT&T's GSM 3G plus HSPA plus network, which I will show you. You can see it's got an AT&T SIM card in it at the moment. If I hit refresh, there's our H plus on AT&T. So if you got an AT&T SIM card, slide one in and you're good to go. Weighs in at 116 grams. Build quality, you've got Gorilla Glass. You've got a metal rim that encompasses the entire display. Just back of that is a rim that made out of high-grade plastic in black. Also covers a portion of the bottom of the phone. See how thin the phone is? It's actually thinner than the iPhone 4. You've got your speaker here in the lower left-hand corner. Let's pop off the battery cover, which you can see again is extremely thin, made out of a rubberized plastic. Got a 1650 milliamp hour battery, rated at 7 hours of talk time. Just to the left and below the SIM card is a micro SD card slot, but you do need to remove the battery so they're not hot swappable. And again, here's the SIM card in the SIM card slot. Pop this back on. Just a matter of pressing it down a few million times. All right, up near the top in the middle is the 8 megapixel camera and LED flash. On top is 3.5 millimeter headphone jack along with one of the microphones. On the right hand side is the power and lock key. On the bottom is another microphone and micro USB port. And on the left hand side is the volume rocker. All right, the Infuse 4G offers quad-band GSM, tri-band 3G, also AT&T's HSPA plus 4G connectivity, weighs in at 139 grams. Build quality, again, you've got Gorilla Glass. You've got a metal rim that encompasses top, bottom, both sides, also comes up a little bit here on the back and houses the phone's speaker. Battery cover again, rubberized plastic, as you can see there, sort of a brownish in color. Underneath the battery cover, you've got a 1750 milliamp hour battery rated at 8 hours of talk time. Again, the micro SD card slot is just below the SIM card slot, and you need to remove the battery, so again, it's not hot swappable, which is too bad. Let me get that all the way on. All right, up top near the middle is the 8 megapixel camera with LED flash. On top, again, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack with a microphone. On the right hand side, again, power and lock key. On the bottom, another microphone plus micro USB port. And on the left hand side is the volume rocker. All right, let's talk cameras. Both of them offer an 8 megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, geotagging, touch focus, face and smile detection, along with image stabilization. The big difference is going to be the Galaxy S2 offers 1080p video capture, whereas the Infuse 4G offers 720p video capture. All right, let's take a look at the displays on both. And we got one going. Let's fire up the other one. All right, there we go. On the Galaxy S2, you've got a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus capacitive touch display showing 480 by 800 pixels. Offers an accelerometer, sensor, proximity sensor, as well as multi-touch. Upper left, you've got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera for video calls. Below the display, you have two touch-sensitive keys, a back key and main menu key, and in the center, you have one physical key, which is a home key. You see right there. On the Infuse 4G, you've got a 4.5-inch Super AMOLED Plus capacitive touch display, again showing 480 by 800 pixels. Offers an accelerometer sensor, proximity sensor, as well as multi-touch. The front-facing camera on the Infuse is a 1.3 megapixel as opposed to 2 megapixels, which is offered on the Galaxy S2, and it has 4 touch-sensitive keys below the display: main menu key, home key, back key, and search key. Memory on the Galaxy S2, 16 and 32 gigabyte versions. Both come with 1 gigabyte of RAM, and you can expand internal storage an additional 32 gigabytes, easy for me to say, with the addition of a micro SD card. The Infuse 4G comes with 16 gigabytes of internal storage, only 512 megabytes of RAM, and again, you can expand internal storage an additional 32 gigabytes through the use of a micro SD card. Both offer Wi-Fi. The Samsung Galaxy S2 802.11a, B, G, and N. The Infuse 4G 802.11b, G, and N. Both support DLNA, and both of them via an adapter have an HDMI out. Bluetooth. On the Galaxy S2, it's version 3.0 with support for high-speed transfer. On the Infuse 4G, it's just version 3.0. GPS with support for AGPS on both. Both can be used as Wi-Fi hotspots. The processor on the Samsung Galaxy S2, 1.2 gigahertz ARM Cortex-A9 dual-core processor versus a 1.2 ARM Cortex-A8 single-core processor on the Infuse 4G. Operating system, Galaxy S2, Android 2.3 Gingerbread, Infuse 4G, Android 2.2 Froyo. On the Galaxy S2, you get Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0, and on the Infuse 4G, you get Samsung TouchWiz 3.0. All right, as you can see, I made it by the Android market, so let's run our quadrant center benchmark test on our two contestants. Got a good clean start. The Galaxy S2 offers the dual-core ARM Cortex-A9 processor along with 1 gigabyte of RAM versus the 1.2 ARM Cortex-A8 single-core processor with only 512 megabytes of RAM on the Infuse 4G, so we'd expect quite a bit more from the Galaxy S2 as far as the benchmark score. Also, if you look at frame rates, I think you'll find the frame rates higher on the Galaxy S2 as well, along with frames per second, which you can see in the lower left hand corner. Alright, we're done with one, and we're done with two. Alright, came back with 3162 as our benchmark score on the Galaxy S2, and on the Infuse 4G, 1094. So obviously, Galaxy S2, big winner when it came to the Quadrant Standard benchmark test. All right, let's try running a couple YouTube videos. Again, they're both running off the same Wi-Fi network. They're both set to default to HQ, and we're off. All right. Take a look at another one. And we're off. Alright, I couldn't tell who won that, so let's do one more. My Horrible Boss's trailer. And we're off. Alright, there's a look at our YouTube comparison, and I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the Infuse 4G actually spooled up 2 of the 3 videos quicker by a microsecond than the Samsung Galaxy S2. I did notice that the whites are definitely brighter, and again, I've got both of the displays set to default brightness. The whites are definitely brighter on the Galaxy S2 versus the Infuse 4G, and I think you've got a smaller screen with the same amount of pixels, so with the greater pixel density, I thought the picture looked actually a little bit better on the Galaxy S2 as well. I know I don't usually throw in a personal opinion, but too bad. Alright, I'm trying to do a little gaming for you on these two. Again, this isn't easy through a camera lens, but give it a shot anyway. It helps if I take my finger off the speaker. Alright, that's the Galaxy S2 Infuse 4G. That hurt. Well, I'm getting a good view of the entire course, huh? Alright, so there's a look at the Infuse 4G as well. Alrighty, I think it's time for our unofficial speed test. I've got Advanced Task Killer on both. Let's kill all the, or a number of the background tasks. Head back to the home screen. And let's kick this off. We'll start with contacts. That was definitely the GS2. Let's try settings. That was the GS2. Let's try maps on both. That was the GS2 as well. Let's try the camera on both. That was the GS2. Let's try Gmail on both. GS2. Let's try messaging on both. That looked like it was a GS2 barely. Let's try the market on both. Where is it? Here we go. Again, the GS2. And then let's try third-party app. Let's try movies. And again, that was the GS2 as well. So not only did the Galaxy S2 win the Quadrant Standard benchmark test handily, it's also hands down quicker than the Infuse 4G running head-to-head with our unofficial speed test. All right, what do you say we try our navigation on our two combatants here, and we'll kick this off and we'll go to Corner Bakery.
Head southeast on Cuffing Way toward La Venta Road, then turn left onto La Venta Road.
Alright, that's the Galaxy S2, had no problem at all. Grabbing the GPS, got us our route and our voice-guided turn-by-turn navigation. Take a look at the map on the display. Redraws very quickly. Let's zoom out a little bit further. Watch it redraw. Yeah, redraws very fast. Still waiting on the Infuse 4G to grab the lockdown on the GPS well enough to get us the voice-guided turn-by-turn navigation. I know it works. When we ran it against the iPhone 4, had no problem, but did have some problems day before yesterday against the Atrix 4G, but it's been extremely cloudy and overcast and stormy here in Southern California, so I'm assuming that's the problem. As you can see, redraws pretty quick, not at the speed that you get from the Galaxy S2. Alright, so there's a look at our navigation comparison.